Just a heads up, we are live, we got a hot mic, we'll give it about another minute or two. Just want to give you a chance to share the feed.
Jim, been all right?
Yeah. Been both society keeps things going.
Oh, yeah?
That's really a problem on the lake. Sometimes the boats are not lit at night.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
People come swimming around the corner,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they keep multiplying,
they
unfortunately,
do.
faster than they get them out.
It's really not just here, it's all over the place. Florida is terrible too.
Yeah.
And I really think some of it had to do with COVID. Because people went out and bought a bunch of stuff. RVs, Airbnbs, and boats. And the boats die. They don't even realize how expensive they are.
Jim, do you expect the county or the state to pitch in some more funding for that? Do you think the county or the state are gonna get serious about funding that more?
Well, Harris County's been doing a wonderful job. Precinct 2. They've got a trash removal program. So, but a lot of it's got to go through the GLO first.
Oh, yeah.
Land office has to authorize it.
That one off the peninsula,
Huh?
that sailboat is
You over by your place?
sinking quickly.
By your place, Val Harbor.
No, that one's sinking by the Hilton.
Yeah.
I'm talking about point of the peninsula
By
where
the
the
wharf?
wharf is,
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
wharf is, yeah.
That's a low rider too. I think it's up in the bottom.
Good. How are you doing? Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I think it's up in the bottom. You get those.
How are you? See you.
Right here, if you haven't gotten one.
Ah, okay.
Brian, you in one of the meetings, and I need to ask you, you had mentioned that there was a marina being foreclosed.
So my understanding was it was the one that's in, is it Waterford? It was owned by the guy who owned the Greyhound Park for a little bit, K something.
J&K or something like that.
Yeah, J&K or, my understanding was that was the one that was supposed to be getting foreclosed. I never got any final confirmation on it, but that's what
Okay.
I think someone's already gone in and purchased all that. But yeah, that was, the last I heard was it was supposed to be getting foreclosed on, or had been foreclosed on. Alrighty, running a couple minutes late, but we're good to go. We've got a quorum here. Alrighty. It is 4:03 p.m. on Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. This is the City of Nassau Bay Maritime Safety Committee. Meeting here at 1800 Space Park Drive, Suite 200, City Council Chambers of the City of Nassau Bay, Texas, 77058. This is the call to order. Roll call. Alrighty, Billy is here, Brown is here, Morton here, Stella is here, Small's here, and our newest member,
Carl Drexel is here.
Carl Drexel. Alrighty. Missing right now is Audrey Hervey. And both chiefs are out, and Paul's not here as well. Citizens' comments. Members of the public may address the Maritime Safety Committee on matters relevant to the committee for up to 3 minutes. Time may not be yielded to another speaker. In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the chairman and committee members may not discuss or take action on matters not posted on the agenda. Comments should be directed to the committee as a whole. Personal attacks, abusive, insulting, defamatory, or disruptive remarks may result in the speaker's time being terminated and removal from the meeting room. Public comment is open at 4:05. Any citizens? Don't see any. And citizens' comment will be closed at 4:05. Committee member comments. We'll start with Jeff. That way Carl kind of gets a chance to see how we do things here. So Jeff, any comments to add?
No comments to add to the minutes, the I'll have to comment.
Yeah.
No other comments.
All right. Mr. Stowe?
I'm good.
You're good?
I mean, I'm really not on the board.
You're kind of in an awkward little limbo here. But I'm still
I
gonna,
think it ended last month.
the 31st.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not a voting member, but you're still here with us today.
Okay.
Good. Jason, any comments? Nothing, right? Carl?
No comments.
No comments. Ilias?
No comment.
And the only thing from my end, just more city related, a couple weeks ago, they had the little show in the park, little concert with the Bay Area Orchestra, which was absolutely phenomenal. I heard they're gonna be, Parks Committee is gonna be looking at doing another one, I think in the fall when the weather's just a little bit cooler. They had a nice patriotic arrangement for the first half, and then the second half, they played some show tunes, the theme to James Bond, Mandalorian and Grogu. It was a really well done deal.
And it was.
So glad that the city's been doing stuff with that. And outside of that, nothing else on the committee member comments. Subcommittee reports, section 5. Aids to navigation, review of all aids to navigation and needed maintenance.
So I don't think, I know that, one of the, buoys broke loose, but I think you guys got it moved
Yeah,
back in
how about
place.
that one?
Yeah, so I think everything in, the cove and around the creek is fine. I guess the one area I haven't really looked lately is still around the Bow Harbor area. I know that there was still, some markers that we wanted to replace there.
Okay.
And I don't know if those got done or not.
No, we haven't.
I'll look back.
Now, the last meeting, we had talked about those low-profile pilings in that open area, south of Val Harbor and Swan Lagoon. Did you guys get a chance to get out there, put any markers on those yet?
No, not yet. I know, remember it was, Tom George or Paul went over on.
Okay, so they're still on order, okay.
That's just to mark those as obstructions? Is that the?
Yeah, so basically, it's the low-profile pilings, the old, who knows what they were there originally for. It might have been there just to hold the mooring equipment, to moor barges and stuff when they originally dug out and opened up the peninsula.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, that peninsula actually used to not be a peninsula. It was actually a land bridge over there. And it was supposed to be homes and all that on the peninsula, the original design of the city. And then they decided to open up the cove, made that a wildlife preserve, and whatnot. But they had to dig and dredge all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the pilings that are in that more open area,
They're old and they're short.
at this point, they're very worn down, broke off, sunk in more. But they're still there, and we can either go through the expense of getting the city to eventually remove them, which is gonna cost a pretty penny, I'm sure, or at the very least, mark them off, get the 6 to 8 foot PVC with some reflective tape on them and secure them that way.
Is there a certain color on your thing, or?
Yellow or white would be
Yellow or white? Okay.
preferable.
Okay.
Yeah, because red or green can be confused for day markers.
Gotcha, okay.
But I'll double check to see if there's any specific coloring for that type of obstruction, but it's usually either going to be yellow or white. All right, anything else under the aids?
No.
All right, perfect. All right, then we move on to new business. Item 6.1, consideration and possible action, approve the meeting minutes of June 2026. That's what y'all have here. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to kind of look over that. Then I'll need a minute to either, or need a motion to either make corrections and approve, or however y'all want to proceed with this.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Motion to approve unless there's any other comments.
Second.
Okay, motion by Jeff, second by Jason. All right, all in favor? Opposed? Carries 4-0. Okay. 6.2, discussion and possible action. Consideration of installing additional wildlife warning signs around the lagoon and the creek. Jeff, you had asked me to kind of put this on there.
Yes, you know, I noticed some fairly recent signage that's going up at, well, different locations. In Texas Parks and Wildlife, I understand, at least we noticed, I think, but we installed some beware of alligator signs by the Founders Park dock area, close to the dock, and then also on Upper Bay, where the dock is, and the ramp for the kayaks. And that was Texas Parks and Wildlife, I'm told.
It was us.
Oh, the city, okay, it was the city, oh, okay.
Did the city bought those signs, or did TPW supply those?
I believe we did.
Okay, so I was wrong about that, the city installed those
Yeah.
signs, which is good, and, you know, I guess it makes sense. But then recently, I believe it was the Parks Committee, I think, installed a nice big sign on the entrance of the Peninsula Trail.
Can be.
Okay, Canby, that's right, okay, thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
Corrected me, and so the sign, you know, I've got a picture of it, it says, beware of snakes, danger, beware of snakes and alligators, and there's some other wording, you know. And it's a good sized sign, I don't know, it's like 3 feet by 2 feet or something, it's a good sized sign. It goes right at, you know, the Peninsula Trail by the gate. And so, in that spirit, and with a recent, capture of the large alligator, you know, I thought, well, maybe, you know, we've got a lot of boats, and some people tend to play in the lagoon on the rafts, I've noticed on the weekend. And then, I guess they can swim a little bit, which seems strange to me, but, so would it make any sense to, on an existing post or piling, to maybe have another sign that could be visible, and people may read it or may not read it, but it's there, the city at least put that to notice, and consistent with what's already with the other signs that we have about alligators and land docking here. So that was just my question for the group.
So you're thinking maybe right as they're coming in the entrance channel, maybe the last set of pilings, just kind of have the additional notice posted there?
That would be one location, or, well, there are a couple locations, but I think that might be the best, as you first enter there and you notice the other sign.
Because Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, we have one alligator warning sign all the way deep in the cove, right? It's like on the bank,
I don't think so.
where there used to be one, I think, years ago.
The only thing I'm aware of is that, filing with the rec sign.
The rec, okay, there's a rec sign on there.
Yeah, there's a rec sign.
But I don't think there's an alligator sign.
Okay.
But I agree, I mean, if you were gonna put one, you could put one on the, we do have that sign going into the cove with the
General
poles
poles.
on it, and you could just add one there, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe get people to pay attention to those too.
What you got, girl?
What does that sign cost?
I'd have to check. It would depend on the size of it, the next question might be.
Yeah, well, it needs to be able to be, you know, caught by people who are in motion, so it needs to have a little bit, you know, I think the signs you've got now are, what, 12 by 15 or something like 12 by 18? So
They're really pretty small, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're road warning signs, really, it's, you know.
And for boats in motion, you're right, we need to be a little bit larger.
What, 2 by?
I think the one on I don't know about the other ones, the one I've seen is the one, on Upper Bay, and I think it says don't feed, right?
Well, yeah, it says like, don't feed the wildlife, and then, you know, warning alligators, it's got a picture of a gator on it.
I think it does say don't feed, yeah, it has a picture of that.
So 2 by 3 or something?
I think a 2 by 3 would probably be more suitable.
No, I'm just, we have a budget here, or just
We kind of have we don't have, the committee itself doesn't have a defined budget.
He's got a budget.
He's got a budget,
Right.
we try to help keep his costs down as best as we can.
So if it's a concern, he'll
Yes.
tell us.
Yeah, I'll look them up, I'll get some pricing, and if it's a concern,
Thank
then
you.
I'll do that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, council hasn't asked us to generate any kind of budget, because we're still trying to figure out exactly where around kind of annual spending we're looking at with this committee. You know, we had to replace a whole bunch of buoys and day boards right off the bat. Within the first 6 months, they spent a small fortune.
Wow.
You know, the first 6 months of this committee, they spent a small fortune getting new buoys and stuff installed. And we've had to replace a couple since then. You know, and the hope is that we really don't cost a whole lot.
My experience when I was in the water last, before it got too damn hot, a lot of these buoys have been misplaced with all these storms we had.
Yeah.
They got shifted around, just like those alligators get shifted. That's the same with those buoys. And they get missing, so the one going near the spillway is gone. It's up against, real close to the spillway, but it's not further out. So some of those buoys are just, have disappeared.
Okay, so our so we do need to reset the no wake zone by the spillway?
Actually, all the way down to near the 270 bridge.
Okay, 'cause I know the
Cobb
one,
Isle.
I know the one that's abreast of Davon Lane. I know that one's good, because every time I come down to make the turn out of there, I always look for the buoy and I see it, it's still, one by Davon's good.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little while since I was back there, but all the ones, you know, by the spillway that I saw were still there, including the one that's the fully lit one, which we don't know really where it came from.
Yeah.
So may need to get a visual on that one by the spillway.
Well, I'll tell you what-
Jim's saying it's set too far in, may need to get them pulled back out.
Some of those buoys are in people's backyards, in the yard.
Yeah. So do we need a motion for, I'd say we probably should do a motion for a 2x3 sign and placement, huh? Just to see what
I don't see the downside. It seems like it at least puts people on notice, maybe first-time visitors to the cove, or people that are inexperienced boaters, you know.
yeah.
Are you trying to get the attention of the walkers, or are you trying to get the attention of the boaters?
Those boaters. Because I think the walkers should notice the existing signs.
I would think so.
Trail.
But I don't think you would want to use the do not feed, I think this, you just want to use beware of alligators.
Yeah.
Just
Beware alligators may be present.
That's a good point. Yeah, you didn't have to go into feeding or habitat, or to keep it simple, short and sweet, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notice alligators.
Maybe, I would say alligators may be present.
Alligators, you know, something like that.
Might need to kick the verbiage through Dick and them.
Okay.
But I'd say alligators may be present should cover us pretty well.
See, alligators are present.
The one on the trail that the Canby just installed says, danger, you know, alligators may be present,
Snakes.
yeah, and snakes. Yeah, it says snakes too.
I think for the boating purposes, you know, we're not as worried about the snakes as we are about the gators. So most gators, they see humans and they stay away. You know, they hear the loud boats come, they stay away. But every so often, especially if you start to feed them, you've essentially halfway domesticated them. Now you've got a predator that is losing its fear of humanity, and that's why couscous had to be pulled out.
Well, that's the same thing that happened back in '98 at the Nassau Yacht Club, because people were feeding the gators, and they got so friendly that, you know, they think they're welcoming food, so we had one removed back, probably during 2010,
Yeah.
with a gator hunter. So I like the way the city did it, though. They got permission from Texas Parks and Wildlife, right? You went and got permission from them to remove the gator, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the right way to do it. I mean, they're in charge.
And then at that point, they're locked into their specific contractor
Right.
that they're gonna use. That contractor has to take it to a designated place. You know, the animal is not harmed in any way, you know, other than any potential, when it gets wrangled itself, you know, as it's you know, essentially fighting for its own freedom. But once it's secured, it's checked for health, and then it's brought over.
No alligator burgers, all right?
No.
No belts, no free belts.
No.
No cowboy boots.
Couscous is in a preserve over in El Campo, where he's gonna be pretty much the top dog, top gator.
Well, I would think so, 13 pounds, or 13 foot, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Mayor
pretty much.
took 90% of his column up on that. Wow, we.
So, like I said, I think we just need a quick motion to place a 2x3 sign, where we want to place it, and what we want it to say. So I just need you, or someone to make a motion, someone to second it.
Motion.
Okay.
To place the sign, 2x3, on the, and I think we're talking about on the piling of the, existing notice board. We just may need to look and make sure, I don't know how much space is underneath there, so maybe check that before we.
Yeah, maybe add to the 2x4 extended with it.
So it's on the land, the piling on the land though, right? Okay.
Yes, it's relatively easy for them to get to. Okay, so we have
I second the motion.
Jason motioned, Jeff second, last second discussion. All in favor? Opposed? None? So motion carries 4-0. All right, cool. All right, discussion, presentation and discussion regarding a proposed voluntary vessel safety check day in partnership with the Coast Guard Auxiliary. So my flotilla, flotilla 6-3 out of Seabrook, we're always looking for places to do voluntary vessel safety checks. We do have the city docks right there on Upper Bay. I spoke to Chief Cromie, all that he would need to do, we don't need to get council to waive any no parking in a section, so people can bring their trailers in. They can bring the boats right in on trailer to get inspected. Chief can designate that himself for the day and time. We're looking at Saturday, Saturday, August 21st, is it? Or 20? What's that Saturday?
Probably the 22nd or
22nd?
I think, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, so yeah, August 22nd from about 10 to 2 in the morning.
And you're talking about using the docks on Upper Bay, but.
Yeah, so the docks on Upper Bay, people can dock through, they pull up.
So you can do water or trailers.
Yes, water or trailers. And the benefits to this, obviously, of course, is we're gonna have more people able to be, get a vessel safety check done. It's free, it's voluntary, it's not required, but here's the thing, if Coast Guard or any of the other alphabet organizations want to do a boarding and they see 2 boats, one with the vessel safety check sticker for the year and one without, they're gonna be inclined to go to the one without first.
Yep.
Yep.
So and it gives everyone who's operating those boats peace of mind that they've got everything that they need to safely.
That's actually a good location right there too, because it brings awareness to people in cars that it brings awareness right
Yeah.
there, other than being hidden in the back
So
of
it's
Carl's house.
exactly. So it's a great spot. I think we're looking at maybe having anywhere from 6 to 10 vessel examiners, plus a couple of people who are training to do vessel exams. So we're gonna have should have a pretty solid turnout from the Coast Guard Auxiliary side. Put the tent up, and all that. Probably, I don't think any food or music. We're still waiting to hear back on if they're gonna offer food. I know in years past they've done offered free hot dogs for a vessel check when they did them over at the Clear Lake boat launch over there at Clear Lake Park.
We can promote that through Facebook and other social media.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we'll promote it on our end through Facebook, social media, through the city's website, through the app. I'll get a sharing on that. And we'll promote it all through city avenues. Coast Guard will also be putting it out on their deal as well. The auxiliary will get it out on the Clear Lake boaters. Just
And that's really, Clear Lake Boaters is really well used.
it is.
It is incredible. So if you guys get a chance, are you on Facebook, Carl?
Not very much.
Okay. Well, Clear Lake Boaters really does a good job by promoting things. And they have like 4,000 members in Clear Lake.
Yeah.
So Brian, where are they gonna do this in Nassau Bay?
Yeah, right there on Upper Bay Drive, right by the, where the city docks are, the old HOA finger piers? It's about
the city docks, where the boat is? Or-
No.
No, so on Upper Bay, right across from Howard Ward, is you see where the board, where the boardwalk is?
Yeah,
So about halfway down, give or take, maybe 2/3 of the way down.
those
It's more like
docks.
2/3 of the way
Yeah,
down, yeah, those little finger slips.
So there'd be people there and boats can come up
Yeah,
there.
boats can dock right on in,
Ah,
no
that way
problem.
they can get inspected right there. People can also bring the trailers through
On the road.
on the road.
Okay.
So here's the background on that, Carl. For the longest time, that was owned by the Nassau HOA. Those fingers were, and they were not managed, so the city took them over recently, so, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
They fixed them up a little bit.
a lot of it, a lot of it. We've
So,
we've made some upgrades to the kayak ramp there, put in railings, put in some non-skid on one side, so that way people can actually walk up and down. The city, before our committee even started, put a ladder in. Now the hope is that actually people start utilizing the city docks, and I think this is gonna be a great way to make awareness that this facility even also exists. And people can float through,
Yeah.
dock for the afternoon or whatnot. There's no overnight rules, there's nothing that says you can't dock overnight. And that may be something that we'll look at later on, recommending to the city about, recommending to council about setting up some rules about, how long can somebody occupy a slip? Right now, it's really just, I think we had one boat that stayed, one guy stayed for a little while, the little boat, the Red Bimini, beginning of the year, he was there for, oh, that was you? Yeah. Well, there you go, you were there for, a week, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's usable. How much water, did you have underneath it, you know? You don't have
It's like 10 or 12.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
pretty,
fine.
it's sufficient deep, okay.
little sailboat, it's a,
No, it's a little Boston weather. It's actually my daughter's boat.
Okay. so here's a recommendation over there, and I think it needs to be permanent. We have one in the Nassau HOA. They've got it secured up so that there's by the ramp, there's the way they have the line secured to the poles of the line, the dock, makes it really good. I think what we need to do over there is have the line, so people can come up, they don't have to worry about putting their own line in there, they can just grab an existing line that's there, for safety reasons.
I
I would
would,
say the only challenge to that is now you have to maintain it.
You have to maintain it anyway.
No, now you usually, it's up to the boat owner, right? I mean, if I park my
Okay,
boat,
whatever.
it's my line.
well, it's,
I just think, here's why I think it's a good idea, just for me. So I had a friend that was boating in the lagoon, and a quick storm came up, and he had to dash out of there. If he was able to go over there and secure himself up to that pole or that dock, it would just be easier, because that's a little tricky over there.
no, I see exactly where you're coming from. The only concern, again, is liability. If that line's not properly maintained,
Okay.
and someone comes to tie off and it breaks away, then they can come after the city.
Okay.
But again, but in that spirit, it does look a little on the more difficult side to tie off there at some point.
Very difficult.
So I think, maybe going forward, Jason, myself, or Jeff, or someone, a couple of us go down there, take a look at everything and maybe come up with a better securing, a better mooring plan. And we'll float it by you guys to see if we can put some better cleats and better spots.
Because the slips are really wide, they're really wide in the slips too.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of real wide.
It's strange, are there cleats in that area? I don't know.
I mean, there are some, but I don't.
Most of the tie-offs are on the pilings themselves.
Their cleats, I think, have been added by maybe people of the year, and they're not secure, so, I mean, I wrap the pilings on top.
Yeah.
That's
There's no,
I wouldn't trust it.
yeah, nothing's in there on a doubler or anything like that.
And the other thing is, and I mean, I know we've got a no wake zone now, but you still have people tear through.
Yeah.
So you really can't, you have to secure 4 lines in the slip, you can't tie
Right.
alongside.
Right,
because
right.
It'll tear it up.
Right.
But, anyways,
Frank, can I ask you a question
Yeah.
about the event itself? I noticed we tend to be proactive, not to write tickets or anything.
well,
there's
so the
no-
auxiliary camp
They
activities.
can't even if they
Yeah,
want.
correct.
So maybe just putting that out as part of the communication so that people don't feel threatened online.
Yeah, Yeah, no, this is 100% voluntary, it's not a law enforcement activity. Now, with that said, what it also does provide a uniform presence as people come in towards the cove. So when you're off on a distance, it's very hard to tell the difference between Coast Guard and Coast Guard Auxiliary. Unless you're looking in your binoculars and you see the words auxiliary written on their uniform. Because we wear the same tropical blues, the same ODUs, everything is identical. I mean, our rank insignia for auxiliary officers has an A on it, but otherwise they use the exact same insignia as active duty. Again, just with an A on it, which if you're looking at it from a distance, you're really just seeing, lieutenant's bars or, oak leaves or butter bars or whatever. So we don't need a motion on this because you said we're pretty much at their at the auxiliaries, I'll say mercy, but with their schedule. And I said David Clark and I pretty much got it hammered out to that day 10 to 2, and if there's still people there at 2 o'clock, then we'll just kind of hang a little late. I'm actually going to be taking a few days of PTO to come help make sure the event goes on from the auxiliary side. We don't need. If you guys want to come down and say hi, awesome. If you want to come down and get your boats inspected, that's fantastic. Again, we're not requiring any committee participation on that. But if you want to come down, shake hands, see what's going on, by all means, come on down. So that's number 3. Item 6.4, discussion and possible action. Consideration of installing 2 marine safety information bulletin boards. Now, this is kind of in the vein of those Canby boards, the Canby board that was put out in front of the entrance to the peninsula. But instead, I was looking at. I'm looking to build them. I'll build them myself. If the city can, install them, put the posts in the ground for me, I'll build them. Make sure everything's good on that end. So the Coast Guard Auxiliary, what they have when they go out to do these inspections, David and them created a sheet with QR codes. So that way, if you have a piece of information that you're looking for, you just use your phone, boom, open, get the QR code, brings you to the page that you can get the information from. I'm looking at doing something similar, obviously with a much larger bulletin board style. And city rules, you need a city rule, QR code, boom, takes you right there. Yep. Weather information, we'll have a link to a preferred weather source. Boom, takes you right there. How to get a Coast Guard vessel safety check. Boom, it'll be there. Any of the information that we need, plus contact numbers and a whole list of things. I'll put on this board. The one that I was looking at putting on over there on Upper Bay will have the address for that particular spot. I'll put that on the back side of it.
So where are you talking about the boards be located?
So I'm looking at one on Upper Bay, right there, pretty much right there at the Finger Piers, city docks. And I was looking at maybe putting the other one actually right there by the David Braun kayak launch. Since that is a utilized spot.
It is heavily utilized.
And the idea is you're gonna catch the attention of boaters launching there?
Yeah, people who are going to be utilizing it, they can go up and say, hey, what's the weather today, real quick? What's the tide supposed to be? Boom. They can just.
You might think about, maybe it's worth the marina too. Your spots for launching, for larger boats would mainly be the Nassau Bay. Obviously there's a lot of boats that aren't launching, but would mainly be, I think, the Nassau Bay Marina, and then as you say, like the Upper Bay or the kayak
You're talking about
launch.
like HOA?
Yeah.
I would have to get with Megan and John.
But by the boat ramp there, that spot.
Yeah, see if they'd be willing to, put something up there as well. And then, Bal Harbor doesn't have any ability to launch, do they? They're just strictly.
There's actually, there's none in Nassau Bay that are public.
Yeah.
Except for the kayak ramp. Kayak launch.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, but Bal Harbor doesn't have the ability to launch out of their marina. Just-
They could have one kind of space for launching small boats, kayaks, and canoes in a rack that has somebody, owners keep their kayaks there. It doesn't seem to be very well used. I mean, it's just a very limited, it's like a single space in the marina.
Yeah.
So last year, Carl was there with me, we had the paddle event there, at, 7:00 in the morning. And there was like 50 people from Camp Hope there alone, which is a good turnout.
Where did you launch?
Huh?
Where did you launch?
We launched from Bal Harbor.
Where about? By the way,
When you go inside, when you look at the marina, and there's some floating docks we installed there with mats.
That's what I
And then, very safe. And, beautiful morning. But that's where we launched. There's no really boat ramp there. It's a kayak. You just have to put the floating docks and then launch off there. But it was good and safe.
So these bulletin boards are piece of glass, you open it up, put the posts in there and close it, and they can look at it.
Essentially, that's what I'm going to build.
Okay.
Something within that's general scope.
Yeah.
A couple of 2x to support it.
Yeah.
semi-permanent
Good idea.
postings.
And then I'll make sure, I'll stain it and seal it up real good, because, that stuff's, weather's gonna get to it pretty quick.
Yep.
I figure next time I'm home, I'll start building them, and, we're already pretty much towards the end of the boating season, so I'm not in a big rush to get them out. But, have them ready for the end of the year, that way they're ready to roll.
So one of the neat things I think that the Parks and Wildlife does, they have a QR code on there where, I've seen people do this at the dog park all the time. People are fishing along there, and they're not measuring their fish. They just pick the fish up off the hook and throw it in the bucket. They don't measure, so they don't know what they're even getting. But the Parks and Wildlife now has they're offering a reward for up to $1,000 for leaving for conviction of anybody that's caught violating the law. And it's actually a pretty simple thing. It's a QR code on there that identifies the location. If you get a picture of the person violating it, you can submit it to the Parks and Wildlife, and they actually send you a feedback where they give you a case number. So it's a pretty neat device actually, and it also pinpoints the location of where it happened, which is really a simple thing. Now with technology the way it is, it's
Nice, we do that for no light.
good luck. What it takes there is a boat, a floating boat.
I could get plenty of good pictures.
Judge Holly's gonna need to open up more hours.
But it really is a neat device, so what I did was I submitted it to the Parks and Wildlife, because I saw people fishing there with my buddy and I were watching them. And the gal fishing, I said, ma'am, and she started throwing rocks at the birds. So I said, ma'am, this is a wildlife sanctuary, you can't throw rocks at birds. She just takes it back, back of it. But people, I submitted a case to them, and they gave me a case number, and actually you do that through a simple QR code, and they actually have a case number assigned to it, and they give you feedback. Anyway, and $1,000 reward too. I think the kids might get interested in that.
So I think I would need to entertain a motion for the placement of the boards, the bulletin boards. But, I definitely want to start with at least 2, and then, like I said, the HOA would be its own separate thing where I can make the data sheet for them, and then if they want to, they can either put it up or whatnot. As I said, I'll take care of all the construction materials and design and all that. I would just need Elias and your team, when the time comes, probably to come pick them up from me and install them. So I don't mind digging holes, but my back will bark here and there.
So one's at the city dock, and where's the other one?
The other one will be going down, looking over there by Dave Braun, by the kayak launch.
Braun Park.
Yep.
I'll motion for that, so one at the city dock and one at the Lake Park.
All right, perfect. You
Second motion?
Okay. Jason makes it, Jim seconds. Any additional discussion? All right, all in favor? Opposed? Carries 4-0. All right, now our last piece of business here. I wasn't able to get them to draw up a nice certificate or anything yet. We're working on that. But anyways, recognition of outgoing board member Jim Stowe for his service and contributions to the committee. Jim, thank you very much. You know, as a plank owner of the Maritime Safety Committee, I'm not sure if you're familiar with what a plank owner is. So for those who don't know, a plank owner is someone who first joins a vessel, came back from the old times of sail, and wooden ships where the first crew all owned a plank of the ship, essentially. And so now, anytime you are a first member of a crew or an organization, you are considered a plank owner.
Oh, so it's been a pleasure serving on the committee. It's been interesting since we started this thing, because we started it after the city had already started implementing the thing, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of got the tail end of things, so I didn't even know about it until somebody told me the part of the committee was going on. But the city had already put some things in place, right?
Yeah, they had already established, changed the no excessive wake to no wake, over there in the cove.
Yeah.
That was the big change.
And the follow-up on watching people on current voters is insane, how people were protesting. You can't do this, it's public water. No, it's a residential community, neighborhood. It's a city park. And I didn't say city park, but it's, you know, the people were complaining that we were violating the law by putting up no wake zones. Because they come off of Clear Lake, and there's no speed limit on Clear Lake. That's the problem. They come to Nassau Bay, and all of a sudden there's,
Well, I mean, technically, as long as you're not generating a wake, there's technically no speed limit in the code.
well, that's a problem.
Don't generate a wake. Good luck.
So, going back to that, I really appreciate Carl coming in, so a little background of Carl, as Carl and I have been doing stuff for years. And Carl helped me when the first time I went to Camp Hope was 2021, I think. It took us about 3 years to get the paddle event going, so, thank Carl for that. Kim Clark also helped out doing a lot of those things. Been a good event. So, welcome aboard, Carl.
Thank you. Nice to be on board.
Jim, we appreciate your service.
Yeah.
You're always welcome to drop in and.
I'll be around.
Excellent.
So here's the thing, so I'm still getting involved in the community and voting stuff, and I'm very involved in the Dead Boat Society. So we have a meeting coming up the 18th, that's when it was the 22nd, so we're gonna have another meeting on a Tuesday night at the Nassau Bay HOA, because we got a lot of things to wrestle with the dead boats.
Yeah.
And a lot of these boats are unmarked in the middle of the night, that's where it comes down to marine safety, because, you know, we got one of them coming around by the wharf that's over there, that's that sailboat. We also have a boat that's just north of the peninsula on the League City side, that's about a 30-foot cabin crew, you can see it actually from it.
Yeah.
And that boat, there's nobody on that boat.
I think that's the one that, the chief's already reached out to Big City PD on that one. That one or the sail, one of the two.
Well, it's
reached out.
Yeah, that's in League City waters, right, not in
Yeah.
ours. But the other one's in League City too.
Yeah, everything, all the issues right now are on the League City side of things.
Except for the one that's sinking sailboat by Battle Harbor, that's in
That one's, yeah.
that's in the city of Nassau Bay.
They've initiated it.
Huh? No, that won't last that long.
I saw it obviously that they've closed the Hilton store that. Was there ever a decision, do you know, on what they're doing with the
So my understanding is the marina stuff's gonna come later. They are gonna be talking to Bal Harbor about co-managing or completely taking over. If they do anything though, they're gonna, there's gonna have to be significant investment from somewhere to upgrade, Bal Harbor's facility.
Well, the big expense would be the dredging too.
Yeah.
It's so shallow in there. Whoa.
Yeah. Now, I did notice, so beacon number 1 for what is the Hilton Channel is still there. All the other beacons leading into the entrance channel to the old Hilton Marina are long gone. The good thing is that when Margaritaville does come in, if the city or Margaritaville or whoever decides to maintain that channel, We're not gonna have to get special permission to put pilings in because they're already specific spots for those, for proper pilings to go, and they are registered.
Are they really?
Yes, so they are registered as what are called PATONs, private aids to navigation.
Oh,
So Coast Guard Auxiliary, I get a whole ATON and PATON report through our flotilla.
what does that stand for?
Well, ATONs are aids to navigation.
Oh, okay.
PATON would be a private aid to navigation.
Okay.
So I get a whole report of that, and that's where I noticed that the Margaritaville 1 was, or the Hilton 1 is still there, but the other ones leading in are obviously long destroyed. And then at that point, we can work with Coast Guard or National Geospatial, whoever we need to adjust the names. So instead of saying the Hilton Channel, we can get it changed to the Margaritaville, or we can get it changed to the Nassau Bay. You know, we can get the name changed to whatever people at that point want to get it changed to. As I said, it's not going to be ready for opening day. It's 18 to 24 months, I think, is the construction plan. But even with all that, for them, they would need to get dredging permits, which alone can take 2 to 3 years. Then they've got to actually build the thing. And I don't think they're going to want to invest anything until they're much further along, and then they figure out what they're doing with an agreement with Ball Harbor or not. So
they're calling it phase 2.
yeah. So the marina stuff's all going to be like phase 2, phase 3, whatever they're calling it. But yeah, but Margaritaville itself is underway. All right, and real quick, I was going to save this for what was supposed to be Carl's original meeting, since they basically just shifted the agenda with the date over. But Carl, if you would kind of introduce yourself to us.
Uh-oh, speech.
Moved here in 2005, and my plan for retirement was I was going to be a sailing instructor. So got to go get a captain's license for that. I went to the ASC Sailing School, got my certification to do that. And I leased boats before, for South Shore Harbor and stuff. So I knew one of the owners and told me, oh, I'm available to do that. I said, that's fine. Then I found out that a lot of the school teachers do that in the summertime because they
Oh.
make extra money.
Sure.
And number 2, they do it on the weekends. I'm going, wait a minute, weekends, those are my time. I'm working on the weekend. So that shut down the retirement plan. So I went to plan B, and then after a year, my wife told me on January 3rd, I said, what's going to happen? She said, you're going to go find a job because it's not working out. And my phone rang. I worked for Ramco. They had a project going with Shell, Motif. So I went back to work. Anyway, so I raised my hand and volunteered too much. I don't know how much you talk into this, but past Commodore Lakewood, Yacht Club. I still have a boat down there, and I'm stopped. I think this is very worthwhile to be here and help the city. Safety, I'm very safety conscious. Get on my boat. Anybody comes on it, no matter when I take the boat out, before that leaves the dock, there's always a safety agreement. Everybody knows
Yep.
that. I'm like, oh, it's just the way I am. So that's why I think it was important. It sounds like we need another member. Is that true? You've seen that in the board?
So Jason was a little late in getting his re-upping in, and so he's on the committee, but he has to be formally reappointed, which should be on.
So then we got a full.
Yes, we've pretty much got a full staff. Audrey Hervey, who's the vice chair, he's out today. But Jason, like I said, you know, there'll be competition, I'm sure, for Jason's spot, but it's Jason's spot.
Okay.
I don't believe anyone else has put in for it. One, and two, I'd like to keep my team as together as possible.
Yeah. Is that good enough for the,
I think that's fantastic.
glad to be on board?
Welcome, glad to have you. Your appointment is good for 2 years. So we've got you until.
So we hope you're glad.
We'll
We have a
see.
Christmas party? We having parties or anything, or?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, who knows?
I'll think I'll work on it.
That's your job.
But, all right, with that
All right.
said, just so we're clear on the next one, the next scheduled meeting will be Wednesday, September 9th at 4 p.m. So that's 2 days after Labor Day. School's gonna be well back in session by that point.
Yeah.
And it's still gonna be hot.
Will be.
On the plus side, there will be fewer hot days ahead of us by that point than there are now.
Right.
See, that's optimistic thinking, right? All right, with that said, I just need a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
All right,
Second.
motion by Carl, second by Jason. All in favor? Aye. It is 4:51, we are adjourned.
Less than an hour, whoa.
That's the other thing, is I like to try to keep these meetings to as short as possible. I mean, if there's, obviously, if there's important stuff to discuss, we discuss it.
All your spare time now.
Oh, I got things to do.
We got another meeting to run through.